slow.
Mad thing. Mad thing. Even he's sitting there like.
Been hiding your feet under it. And the closer it comes to me, is the more convenient it is for me to put my feet.
This and this used to touch.
Yeah.
Because beforehand, before they started cutting back,
There was
I had a little
there.
table here that I could rest my drink on.
That table got moved over there.
Where is it?
Oh, for the bougie area.
Yeah. That's the VIP section.
Why don't I
Can
see
we
the
use
table?
that section?
But I don't see the table.
Apparently, if we want to use that, we got to buy
We got to buy about
Economy
10
Plus.
bottles of Ciroc.
yeah.
10 bottles of
Oh,
but
bottle service.
But we, yeah, no, it is. But we will get it. We will get the bottle service. We will get the bottle
So
service.
you have to walk over there. There'll be these chicks walking around holding the
And also,
with
and
the
also
fireworks.
fire-
Remember that
you
top?
can't book it. You have to be invited to use that area. So
See.
you get an email to say.
All right.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what. I can talk about it now. When I went to Liverpool, bruv,
You at Liverpool? Why was you in Liverpool?
I know. Is it
will-
going to be like for the next
this is
10
gonna
years?
this is gonna be something you will.
When
be
I went to
hearing for the
Liverpool, I met the
whole-
Queen.
No. Well,
Yeah.
you know, J-
Yeah.
I'll show you my actually, I'll show you my
Now you're
phone.
going to show us pictures as well. Fucking hell.
So Adnan and them lot met the owners. JJ of Liverpool. JJ, you know JJ, innit? Dewberry. He met Klopp.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
but, bruv, it was honestly, it was man over.
So who did you meet?
I met nobody.
He met
I met my
the man
man
them. He met
I
his
met the
Liverpool
man
man
them.
them. That's what he
I
met.
met the man
Did
them.
you wear your MT t-shirt when you was up there?
No.
No.
Listen. I don't want to mash everything up, but I went City Splash. When I got there, in the back of my mind, I was like, why am I not wearing my
Because-
MT merch?
Right.
I should
I wore
have
my thing.
front and back.
Right.
Every time I go on holiday, I wear my thing.
Right. Two different things. City Splash, did it rain?
No.
Yes.
No. So
Yeah, but not
Liverpool,
really.
it rained all the way through. And on top of that, you had all the red flares. I weren't looking to mash up the things with the red stuff.
So why you have a MT hat?
Empty hat. Have we got empty hats?
Empty hats? No, mine's pretty full.
This guy's an idiot, you know. No,
But we need to have, like
Yeah.
I said, I got pictures of evidence when I was in the airport rocking my thing. People coming up.
I was in Dubai.
I would wear mine. I've worn mine actually out and about in places, but I just haven't worn it on.
Have you worn it in the station?
You gotta be in uniform.
No, you go into the station with it.
No, I've worn it. I've
mean,
worn
out
it
the
when I played
When you're
outdoor,
DJing at the
in the
station.
station.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, nice.
Nice. Pumpkin.
All right,
Tongo, when have you worn it? Don't
No,
try
I
and get
don't
away.
remember.
At the podcast.
I don't remember when else. Probably
You
just the podcast. I can't
You
remember.
don't wear it anywhere.
I can't remember. I think I have, but I can't
You at
remember
least
where.
wear it to bed.
Why would I wear it to bed?
You don't catch man. Yeah, I sleep in it.
No.
Okay, let's go. I'm ready.
Ready up.
We're ready.
Ready up.
As soon as we get the green light, then we go.
We got the green
So,
light.
question. While engineer
See,
is
look,
dealing with the thing.
engineer done said green light about 20 minutes ago, bruv.
Look at that, and you know,
DJ.
yes, he did.
So as I was saying,
Yes, he did.
engineer dealing with things. Quick question to Mr. Bob.
Warm things up.
To warm things up.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
go.
Uh-oh.
Adele or what's that brother with the ginger hair?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. Adele is a lot more of a better singer.
Ed Sheeran for me though.
So Adele.
Adele or Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. Only because I like his versatility. Like he walks into a lot of genres and he's welcomed.
Well, I don't know if he's walking in or if he's pushing his way in. He's in places. But talent-wise, I have to say that Adele is probably one of the biggest impacts in our generation.
In their generation, but all right, cool.
So that leads right into my winner stays on. Leads right into it. So Ed Sheeran's now been knocked out. Adele's staying on
Wait, hold on. How?
because Ed Sheeran got stays on. Sorry, he got more votes than me. So winner stays on. Basically, we're gonna say an artist. Whoever loses gets knocked off. It's only going to be 10. Of those 10, whoever is there stays as the winner.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's just simplify it.
Winner
We're going
stays
to have
on.
a knockout system
That's right.
called Winner Stays On. We're going to name a celebrity and we're going to name a celebrity to challenge that spot.
Yep.
And depending on the votes of the MT podcast, we'll see who stays on.
Yep.
And if you win the previous round, you're into the next round. So it's winner stays on.
And if it's a
Exactly.
draw, engineer kicks in.
No thanks. No thanks. But all right, let's go.
Okay, so winner stays on. So we've just said out of Adele and Ed Sheeran that Ed Sheeran is staying on. So Ed Sheeran, Eminem.
Eminem.
Citrus?
It's hard.
Different, but
Yeah, I know.
Different, but I think I'll say Eminem first.
Eminem. I have to think of my Spotify playlist.
Okay, Eminem, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Eminem.
Jay-Z.
Okay. Jay-Z, Drake.
Jay-Z.
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 If Buddy was here, mash up.
But he was here. He'd be fighting.
They'll be doing that lion roar.
Jay-Z, Vybz Kartel.
Jay-Z.
Vybz.
Okay. Vybz
Like,
Kartel.
you can't walk into my genre of music and be throwing out other. No.
I'm throwing up everything right now. Vybz Kartel, Beenie Man.
Vybz Kartel.
Beenie Man.
Beenie Man.
Beenie Man, Bob Marley.
Beenie Man.
Beenie Man.
Okay.
Ooh.
Beenie Man.
Bob.
Bob, yeah? Okay,
Beenie Man.
Beenie Man's got 2 votes.
Yeah.
Beenie Man, Michael Jackson.
That's dumb. Michael Jackson.
What I'm gonna say is,
Michael Jackson.
what I'm saying is, with no voice. That's what I'm saying.
Don't do that again.
Brother. There are dogs running around.
Don't do that again.
Voice was,
You know
voice
when?
was,
You know when you have to go and put
voice was hoarse,
Old
man.
Yeller? You have to go and put Old Yeller to sleep in the long grass. Yeah. Old Yeller, come let's go for a walk into the forest.
Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder.
Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson.
Michael Jackson, Prince.
Or Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
It's
Yeah, I think we're
it's either Michael Jackson or Citrus. And then I'll be like, what Citrus? Do you get what I mean? No.
So the winner staying on is.
So is that the last
Michael-
one?
That's the last one.
Prince was the last one.
Prince was the last one.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Michael
easy.
Jackson stays on. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Next time, not include him.
You can't put, that's like putting in, you know, the artist that shouldn't be named. Man like Robert.
Ooh. Do you know what? I'm going to throw that in. Michael Jackson or R. Kelly.
Michael Jackson. I don't
Damn.
understand you lot. I don't understand.
No. So I understand what Sitch is saying. Artist for artist.
There's-
But
But
yeah.
R. Kelly's. Ooh,
Okay.
Do you know
Michael.
what? Take
Michael.
R. Kelly's top 3 albums.
Michael.
Take
MJ
Michael
wins.
Jackson's.
MJ wins. MJ wins.
So I don't
It's not a
understand
question,
why we're
but
thinking-
emotionally, like
Think about when you think about the influence of how many other artists that he's produced for,
Okay.
featured on, like
Okay.
it's
You
like
give me zero information.
look, you have to remember, and this is probably the deciding kind of comment. There are people in the world who don't actually know who
R. Kelly is. Yeah, but that's not relevant to our opinion.
It doesn't matter, bro.
No, I get
99%
both your
of the
points.
people
That's not relevant to our
knows
opinion.
MJ, and they know him for a reason.
But we know MJ and we know R. Kelly, and that's what the conversation's about. It's not about what the world knows
MJ.
or who knows him or who don't know him or how famous he is or isn't. It's about what we think.
You can't say
in
that,
the
bro,
room.
because
If that's what-
if
that-
one person
if
is
that-
only famous to the 4 of
if
us here
that,
now,
if that influences your opinion, that's cool. But not everyone in the room necessarily thinks like that.
yeah, but then you're always going to be biased, and you're not going to really give a true reflection of the vote, are you? Who's the best cook? Your mum or Gordon Ramsay? Well, my mum is. Do you know what I mean?
But my mum is though.
So I'm going to throw in.
Blood, Gordon Ramsay got 88 restaurants in the south of Wales alone. And you're telling me your mum is
I love your mum,
say no more.
but yeah. You're invited to dinner. Gordon Ramsay or your mum? Where you turning up?
I'm going to throw in another.
Could you imagine mum standing there with the chef hat with a puff thing on the top and the white apron? And
Mum, I love you, but
And mum knows I'm her favourite. Let's be honest. And she's standing there, made a bag of things. And I'm in Gordon's queue, like, I don't want to sit near the toilet.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
But all right. I get it.
So here's one question I wanted to ask, because we would. I assume we would all agree, Michael Jackson's the king of pop.
Yes.
Yeah,
Music.
music.
Yeah.
King of music. He was officially crowned the king of pop, but you could just say king of music if you want to say it. Yeah.
You know, you can't say it.
Yeah.
I'll say it for you.
King of music.
Okay, so
King of music.
So my question would be: is R. Kelly the king of R&B? And if he's not, who is?
He is.
He is.
Full stop. It's not even a
Okay,
question.
of R&B, I don't think
Is that even a
there's
question?
a huge conversation.
Godfather.
What about Usher?
That's where I was going to go to. Was one person who people say
No.
is the challenger for him.
No. I've seen Usher live and I respect him and he's done bare things and whatnot. But you ain't putting him next to R. Kelly. I'm sorry.
All I'm saying is, do you know what it comes down to in my head? And shout goes out to old people. But you know what?
Shout goes out to old people.
Do you know what happens in my head? You're in a shubs or a house party, for those that may or may not understand.
Stick with Shoobs.
You're in a shubs and room one had decided to play techno house. And because I was enjoying the Afro beats that was in there before, when it switched to techno house, I walked out. I walked into room two. Room two is doing R&B back-to-back tracks. I do not know an artist that has a repertoire of tunes longer than Robert.
Chris Brown?
Nope.
Longer.
I'm throwing out names of
No,
people
Usher-
I was
who've
gonna say
Usher's
people-
probably the
got
only challenger.
longevity in the same sort of space. So you could say there's loads of people that have got great R&B
Music.
repertoire, but I'm thinking it was about what 25 years or so. What was it? 1991 to about 2011
Even
or
if
so.
you said 2005, it's crazy.
Yeah. And all his collabs as well.
Yeah,
It's all included.
Isley Brothers. Come on.
Would Drake and I know it sounds a bit obviously the last year and a half Drake's fallen right off, but considering Drake's run,
Yeah.
would you not say Drake is in that same conversation?
So
No.
I'll be very honest. I'll be very, very honest. Because I'm older, I'm not a person that will sit down and say, let me play Drake and listen to some of the la-di-da rhythms that he makes. Because I'm just not interested.
Same.
I have no interest in it. Do you get what I mean? It's
You've
not
got no
something.
emotional connection to it, innit?
I've not
Yeah,
listened to
it's-
one Drake album in my life.
It's not something that I'll turn around and be like, oh, let me play this Drake tune. Do you get what I mean?
Whereas if I played you R. Kelly's repertoire, each song would almost have a...
And it'll
Invoke
bring
a
me
memory.
back. It'll bring me back
Invoke
to
a memory.
Yes.
Do you know what you're like?
What are you like?
My
You're
reader?
like the voice in the back of my head that has a microphone that's unfiltered. So when I want to say something, it's just yo, just out here.
Yeah.
Just look.
Saying-
Look at Jay.
saying
Look at
You don't wanna
exactly,
fix this
look
podcast.
at what
Jay.
you're about to say before you say
Look at Jay. I'm just. All I'm saying is like, give me space to breathe, bro, or you take it. I don't need help. You know,
Tongue
you do
petal.
your thing. Huh?
Tongue petal.
I'm just like, I don't need no help. I've got all of my thing. You can do your thing. But what I was saying is that when it comes to certain artists and certain music in certain genres, if you said to me, for example, in dancehall, not even dancehall, in reggae, I'm going to play a Berry set for 45 minutes. In my head, I'm good for the whole 45 minutes. If you then turn around and switched across and said, I'm going to play a Sizzler set for 45, I'm still okay. Do you know what I mean? If you said you're going to play a 90s pop album or pop, but just pick one artist, I'm immediately stumbled. Do you get what I mean?
Go ahead.
So when it comes to certain things, I'm well versed in my criteria. But outside of that, I don't know. I'm not strong enough. But that's just me. I don't know about the rest of you guys.
So that's a nice little warm up, though. This is the Empty Podcast, and we're light this week, innit?
You're meant to say my name is.
No, I'm first of all saying we're light. This
We're not
week.
like. This is a good number.
That's right.
He's feeling good today, innit?
I'm feeling very good today.
Yeah,
I'm
because
listen,
you're
it's
glowing.
It's a nice. Anyway, it's a nice. I'm
Go in
feeling-
red.
Yeah, and
That's
the
like
ready directly behind his
That
head.
ready brick.
But myself, I'm Mr. Wileycat DJ, and to my left we have,
Sirelli, ever so slightly broken.
and to my right we have.
Citrus. Yaga yo 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 yo. Yeah, yeah. Do you know what? Someone came up to me and said, yeah, randomly at City Splash. It was great, bruv. I was like, oh, God, what are you saying? He was like, I watch your thing all the time, you know. I'm like, really? I said, yeah. I said,
I didn't even grab their name to give a shout out. Nothing.
Shout out if you was in City Splash, you shouted me. Yeah, that was it.
And last but not least, we have.
Man like Tongo, you're done though, Medea.
You know what made me laugh? One of my friends bumped into
Me and Buddy.
Citrus and Buddy at football, and he's like, "Yeah, you know, he's the one who talks the most sense." I said, "Jesus,
Oh, Lord.
he's not gonna."
About this guy.
He was licking it.
No.
was
He was at his youth man's football tournament final.
And it's you had brand new football boots in it.
No.
Sponsored by Citrus.
He turned around and said, "This guy is the best one."
You know, just move on. Move on.
And the wickedest thing is, me and Buddy was like, the white dude as well. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know he was. We made the transition.
Cross continent, bro.
Right, but so he was like, "Yeah, this guy." I said, "Who this guy?" So this guy. I said, "Tell Buddy again, which guy?" This guy. Buddy was like, "Yeah, but you know, I'm the truth." Stop. You know what I mean? He said, "This guy, that's the truth." Do you get what I mean? I was so happy, and he was like, "You know, Wiley ain't gonna like that." I'm like, "I don't care about Wiley." You know what I mean? You're my guy from now on. So shout goes out. What's his name?
Listen, John, shout out to John.
Jono, innit?
Yeah,
shout goes out to John. Man like John. Well, go on. Oh, and John is ginger and said he's now officially black because there was a scientific study that said ginger people
Are black.
have a gene
Yep.
that's closer to black people than associating them with white people, if you get what I mean. He took that and then showed me a video of him skanking with red stripe and Cape Cotton in the background. I accepted all of it.
Listen, have you not been seeing that though?
I love that. Big up, John.
That's everywhere though.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, I've
It's
seen it.
mad. It's mad. It's mad. I had a cousin that had ginger hair, and that was
Wiley has a cousin that has hair, male or female. I'm out here doing a steward's inquiry.
but it makes Ed Sheeran make sense.
Yeah, but listen, it's
It
been
makes Ed
such
Sheeran
a
make sense.
such a funny convo that's been going on with that. But listen, this was meant to be Men Talking featuring Kenny Sting. Unfortunately, he's not able to join us this week. He had an injury. Shouts out to John, to Kenny. Sorry. Hopefully, he'll be joining us fairly soon. You know, John, because that conversation about the gingers and John now.
Sting.
John Sting, exactly. Kenny John Sting.
John is featuring in your head for free, bro.
He's got rent in it.
You know, rent free. But yeah,
John
so
Sting,
so
you
this
know.
week is anything goes. Anything goes.
I'm here for
Anything
it.
goes.
Wiley relapse.
Yeah, exactly. Wiley's wheel ups. Rayman ain't here. Shout out to Rayman. Shout out to Buddy. He's not in the building. So we have free
But
reign.
it's not in the country.
Exactly. So we have
said
free
free
reign.
reign.
We have
Is he-
free reign.
is he-
Free reign.
Oh,
Free reign.
right.
And we can talk the truth.
Amen.
Adam Morrison
Wiley's like executing people,
Executing
innit?
everything right now. Everything.
dropping bars for
When he
fun.
has that laptop in front of him,
Brother.
no one knows
Dropping bars for
what
fun.
is coming out. All right.
So,
I'm liking this one.
But before we start, let me get a juice. Why have I not got no juice? Rayleigh's got a juice. You're holding your cup
You know
like
what it
to
is?
say
You lot took the bottle, innit? So I was like, yeah, let's bring it closer to Uncle Riley.
to that side.
So what I will start off with, and we did it about a year ago. If you remember, a year ago we had the whole debate. Look at the producer's not here. You know, he's gone out at the right time. We had the whole Cape versus Sizzler debate because we was talking about City Splash, and we was talking about who would be the best headliner for 2025. Well, 2025 is here now. City Splash has come and gone.
Was last week?
How was City Splash?
This week. It was this week.
Who was the headliner? How did it go?
Okay. So City Splash.
It wasn't Sizzler.
And shout goes out to City Splash because I know they're trying to incorporate a lot. Like what they're trying to facilitate in the Caribbean community by reflecting their culture is a lot. It's a lot. Do you know what I mean? If you go to the event properly and you walk around and you see what's going on and you observe, there were 5 tents or 6 tents. Well, when I say stages, I should say. But some of the stages were tents, just to give scale.
It's about 6.
So what's the difference between the stages and the tents?
Yeah.
It was literally the areas. That was the name of the areas. So there's the yard stage.
Yard stage.
Then there was, I can't remember what the second stage
Do you
called.
mind if I refer to my phone?
Refer to your phone, please. So there was the yard stage, but there was a second stage, and the second stage had like some upcoming. Shout goes out to AG Online. You know what I mean? Man that represents down Brixton and represents down King's Cross. Like he was on the second stage.
Oh,
No,
he
he
was
was on the
stage?
second stage. Yeah.
Amazing, well done.
He played a set there. That was really, really nice. And what was good was, which was mad, but what was good was I was on the train and I went on my own, you know, on a solo Buffalo Soldier thing.
Best way to go, you know, bro.
And while I was there, I heard these girls saying, "Oh, so at this time we're gonna be here, but this time AG Online's gonna be on this stage, so we gotta go there." And I was like, "That's great." You know what I mean? So
COVID, yeah?
Pardon?
From COVID to...
Yeah, really good, really, really good.
So sorry, for people who don't know who AG Online is, please give us a little...
Do you know what? He's probably doing so much bits, but it's a DJ. He has a mobile DJ sets up on the street side and just plays his music. Doesn't really watch no face. Does his thing. Really bringing culture to the masses, and he's now got traction, got major traction. Anyone is now finding himself outside with him on his mobile DJ
Live.
set, live, running rhythm, which I think is amazing.
It is proper. I love it.
Have you got it?
Yeah, I got them.
So Tongo's just going to run through this. I'm going to say the stages.
Yeah. So they are the yard stage, which was the main stage.
Is that the main stage, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And that had the headliners, the main two, which were Spice.
Free, please.
Sorry, free, you're right, sorry. Which are Tarrus Riley, Spice, Popcaan.
Okay.
Then you had the pull-up stage.
That's it.
Pull-up stage was like your next tier down. So an artist like TJ, I don't have to say this guy's name, Modu Block or something like that. Shayna Marie, Valiant, them sort of people.
People are saying Valiant should have been on the main stage, but
Yeah.
that'll make sense in a second.
Then we had Rampage Sound. They had their own
Shout
tent.
goes out to Rampage.
they had a
Shout
tent.
goes out to
They
my
had their
boy.
own tent. Their tent was on fire.
So the
But-
tents are like little raves.
Wait. Shout goes out to Shep Beats. Wagwan Shep. Hope you're good, bruv. And he did a fire soul cassette. Wicked soul cassette.
And then on
He
top
had-
of that,
he had-
he had 2 sets.
No. Well, he was down for 2 sets,
Oh,
but
he
it
didn't do
didn't
it.
stop.
So he just
from the
rolled
first set, he just rolled through, bombarded the neck, because they couldn't stop it.
The
The
vibes was
whole
too-
tent was bubbling, bruv. So it went through.
Bubble and wine, yeah.
It was good. It was really good. And shout goes out to Rampage. Shout goes out to Shep Beats. Do you know what I mean? These things are not easy. Do you get what I mean?
You know, as you say, I've got like to give props to the people then. Lately, for the last maybe 4 to 5 years, or maybe even less, summer in the UK is a thing, you know. It's
It's
a
on
vibe.
fire. You're bruv, you're actually right.
It's a vibe. So now I'm looking
yeah.
at my calendar. I'm like, I want to go away, but I'm trying to sort it in so I don't miss anything. Like, I'm like, this is a vibe. This is a vibe. I want to be here for this. It's actually staycation here in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, UK in the summer.
It's no longer just carnival. and
Nah, man.
now
There's
yeah.
things out there.
What it is, and you know what? There are things, and I have to be honest, gents, we have been really slow on the uptake. Because there are things like Party on the Roof.
Wait, when you say we, don't include me, bro.
Bro, I have to include you.
Nah, I've been to some random randos.
You know, really doing his thing that we're not allowed to talk about on the podcast. But all right then, not that. Other things like that. But there are things like Party on the Roof. There've been basement underground raves. There've been tents set up in random fields.
I've been there.
And things been going on. So there is a lot going on. So now, as you say, staycation. It's not even just staycation anymore. There are people traveling in saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
in London they've got
the summer, they've got this,
they've got
that.
the podcast show. And at the podcast show, we're going to go and hire out a field and do this and blah, blah, blah. Not just London, to be fair, in England. So for me, if you look around, you will find.
100%.
Yeah.
I went to see Nile Rodgers last year, year before, in Hyde Park in some little nook where he had a little tent, and like they were banging. He brought artists from all over the world on stage, and it was a very, very small venue, but it was one of the best raves I've been to.
Fair enough.
I went to see Kassav this week again.
Yes, you were saying.
It was
What is Kassav?
Kassav is a group from Guadeloupe, which is an island, a French island in the Caribbean, one of the bigger islands actually, and they're famous. They've been going for 25 years. Their music selection is, if you don't know about it,
Their repertoire.
oh my God, seriously, their repertoire is amazing. If you don't know about Kassav, please do yourself-
K-A-S-S-A-V.
V-A-S-S. It's got a V in there somewhere.
Yeah,
Bruh,
V at the end.
somebody can't spell for shit.
K-A-S-S-A-V.
Yes. Thank you.
Say no.
Thanks, Tongo. So they're amazing. Their music repertoire is it's something.
And they can perform and keep the stage alive
Listen.
for X
Hours.
period.
The concert was hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it was, and the crowd was jumping from start to end.
finish.
And I'm talking about singing. They could have just put the mic down and just had the percussion and the guitarist and whatnot play, and everybody would have been fine. Everyone would be like, it's cool. We can sing our way through this concert and be cool. By far, and I've seen a lot of artists, by far one of the best concerts I've been to. The vibe outside.
Wow.
So in the Caribbean, we have, for those who don't know anyway, we have quite a lot of French colonies that used to be, under French jurisdiction, and they are now some
Independent?
of them are independent, but they still kind of colonized. Still have that.
At the end of the day, when you've been colonized for a long period of time, you're going to have
you're gonna have all those
that
kind
way
of
of
trade.
life, innit?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
of
we have
course.
Martinique, we have Saint Lucia, we have Dominica, we have Guadeloupe, and there's a few others that also, but they all speak some form of French. And the reason why I said some form of French is because
Sorry to cut you, Sirelli. So do you know, if you're from Martinique is considered part of France?
they still use the I think they were using the franc until the
So if you've got a passport from Martinique, you have a French passport. You do not have a passport from the Caribbean, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
You have a French passport.
you are French.
So you are French. Do you get what I mean?
You can go and live in France without having to
do any
anything,
form
yeah.
of any. Do you know what I mean? Which I think is amazing. Don't get me wrong. The amount of people that are allowed, that are in a position to make the transition,
but
may be
the economy
limited.
of Martinique is actually quite good because of this. So
Okay.
there's a lot of France tends to pillage places, but there's a lot of to and from
Martinique
France.
is the island that's north of St. Lucia, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But beautiful island.
Look at you know when Wiley comes
I
down,
know,
right?
it's the
I'm
kind
you
of
know what
asking the
pisses me
question.
off. He's on ChatGPT, right? Say, where is Martinique? When the camera's not on him, then he'll just drop a gem like, so Martinique
goodness
is north of
me.
St. Lucia, isn't it?
4.7 miles.
And then pushes his imaginary glasses up his nose bridge.
Yeah, it's the island you can see from north from Guadeloupe, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
And then the next minute he'd be like, "Yo,
Oh,
let's
dear.
talk about Nigeria's GDP." Like, all right. Clearly, I'm not as cultured as you are.
Back is kicking
All
in.
right, you get it.
I
but-
do want to ask a question because you mentioned about the great performances of Kassav. However, there's been some kickback from City Splash about some of the performances.
Okay, so I was there and Tongo was there.
Yeah.
And as much as we were both there, we weren't there together.
So you had two different experiences. So we're gonna have
We spent probably 7 to 9
I was gonna
minutes
say 7 minutes. See it there?
together. So I will not change my delivery that's coming up. I will allow Tongo to go first.
So give us your example, experience, interpretation of.
All right, so I got there kind of late.
What's it?
When I about 5.
So by that time, you'd missed a couple artists already.
So I missed Shep Beats, for example.
Okay.
I missed
Miss Dynamite.
Dynamite. I missed quite a few people. Yeah. So when I got there, I was in what's that first tent? I ended up being at the
So was it
Tom,
raining when you
do you
got
know what the worst thing is? We didn't mention all the tents,
You lot all jumped
all
in.
the stages.
so,
Yeah.
I think I was at the pull-up stage.
Pull-up stage,
No,
okay.
pull-up stage,
Yeah.
no. When I pull up, it was
Or was it the main stage?
It was the Bossy London stage. Sorry.
Okay.
When I got there, Nate was just finishing.
Just name the stages. Sorry.
Right, so I was at Rampage. So Rampage had people like Shep Beats, Miss Dynamite, Heartless Crew, shout out to Bushkin, Mo and Fonty. Had Pioneer, Super D, Cold Steps, and Terminal 4.
Sorry, quick question. Were all three of them there?
I can't remember. I don't think Mo was there.
Okay.
I'm not positive, but I couldn't see.
Okay.
I'm sure. Remember that.
Okay.
Couldn't
I
even
was at
hear.
the back.
Don't worry about it.
I had crutches, bruv.
Okay.
Leave it alone. It was
No problem.
jam-packed.
No,
we
not
were
the same
sardines in
priority
the
then.
tent, honestly. But the vibe was off. When I was in there, Heartless just started. They were going ham. They did it up. But then just at the end of their set, I don't know what fun it was playing, but I didn't even know the tunes. So I was baffled. So people started to leave there. But we had to go to get to Spicy was performing at 7, I think, or 5:45, 6:45, something like that. So yeah, but I like
Other
what I
stages?
So the next stage was Bossy London. That had people like Izzy Bossy, Sasha Keeble, Cryptic, Cash, DJ Lani.
Shout goes out to DJ Lani.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say.
DJ Lani did really well because he got caught off guard and had to play on the
Yard stage.
yard stage. I'm gonna explain why, but I had to play on the yard stage for an extended period of time with Shawnee B. Shout goes out to Shawnee B.
Should be smashed it.
Do you know why? It would. Do you know? I'm not going to interrupt Tongo's thing, but all I'm saying is, you pay for certain DJs to do certain things, and they may not be the best at this, the best at that, or the best at the other. But when you mix and blend their attributes and then put it on a stage or on a platform that they can perform, I cannot knock what these people were trying to do. Tongo.
Correct. So then we got the Rastafari Reasoning Corner,
I went in there, I spent 45 minutes in there. It's a tent,
where people are like talking and giving conscious talk.
conscious
Talk
conversations.
and-
It was brilliant.
I didn't get to go there.
So I went there, had a long reasoning.
Either of you rasters now.
I mean,
I just said I
if
didn't
I
get to
could
go
grow it, just out
The
here.
way my hair set up, I don't think so. When my follicles are
Shirley's
set
just
up,
out here just trying to expose, man.
I'm just trying to say the
alright.
corner might have, triggered some
Conscious growth.
so then there's
Okay.
the
Wow.
foundation stage, which was like King Tubby's sound, Abashanti, them people there. Then we had a Channel 1 sound, which was similar to the foundation sound stage. And that's all the stages that were there.
Saxon Sunday.
Saxon
They
was not
played on the yard stage.
there. Saxon weren't there.
Saxon Sound played on the yard stage.
Oh, yeah.
Shout goes out to Saxon Sound.
My bad.
Tongo, did you go?
Tongo went there. But
Did you go
Them
to
time
see
there,
the-
I was in Hotless. That's why I was in
but
Rampage there.
what I would say though is there was also
I'm not even there yet.
what's it called? Silent rave.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
headphone
man
things.
raves ever.
When?
If you came early, you would have
I
seen
say
it.
when, where? That's what I'm asking.
In City Splash. But there was the headphone thing.
Yeah, where you.
And I went in there, it was mad.
Yeah, people
a
singing.
guy with blue headphones was whining with a chick in red headphones. And there was another girl with with orange headphones saying, this shouldn't happen. This shouldn't happen. And everyone's recording it. It was brilliant. It was fantastic because you got the 3 different colors
Yeah. So it was
and
three
different
Music coming through.
music coming through.
Normally it's normally 2, but they
But
pushed
they
it
were
out.
3 and this shouldn't happen. That
I've
was,
seen it
that
when
was
it's been
amazing.
before. Mad.
That was amazing. That was good.
So, as I said, I was in a Rampage sound. It was packed. There was a vibe. There was a little kickoff in what was meant to be the VIP section, which I found quite peculiar. That seemed to couldn't get under control properly. But
What, bougie people don't fight.
no, it was just surprised because they ain't got people pushing on them. There's plenty of space. There wasn't much people in it, so it was
That's
just a
because you're looking
surprise.
for a reason. Maybe your bougie self just wanted to
So it was a surprise.
bust ahead.
So yeah, so that was a vibe. When I came over to the yard stage now, I came over for Spice. Spice's set, even though she tried to rush through it and tried to rush tunes, it was wicked. She done a top notch job.
Was there
I've
any
never seen it before.
Was there any reason given as to why she was trying to rush through her set?
In her opinion, she wasn't given enough time for her set.
Okay.
which she shared.
Yeah, which she said several
She said it,
times.
Yeah.
And so she's saying, I got to rush my set because I ain't got enough time. I
bare
got
tunes
too
out
much tunes.
Yeah.
So do I jump in at this bit?
Jump in.
So she was like, I've been performing for 25 years.
Yes.
And you're asking me to fit my
Repertoire,
into this period.
45 minutes.
And she had 3 outfit changes.
Oh, right.
Her dancers maybe had 5
Outfit
costume
changes,
changes. She had a motorbike. She had a bed.
Four-poster bed.
4-poster bed come on stage doing the madness.
So when I tell you,
So she went in.
it was a proper
She as
stage
if you're
show.
gonna turn around and say to someone, come and perform, and I'm gonna pay you this much,
And you got to say, I need room for my back to come on. I need space for
She did.
sick bed.
everything. She
Just-
brought people on. Sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, really quick question for context, because you're saying 45 minutes. I'm looking at that as that's a reasonable amount of time. Last year when K put on was the headliner, just very quickly, how long did he have?
hour and a half.
Okay, cool.
Minimum.
Okay, cool.
Because I left and he was still
So
performing.
let me continue.
You were saying you were both saying about Spice, isn't it?
So for me, what I enjoyed about Spice's performance is Spice brought on men on her, like men in the crowd come on stage, women in the crowd come on stage. A young girl tried to get on stage. Spice said, "No,
You're too
I don't
young.
want no young girls
You're too
coming up,
young."
winding up on my thing." She then made the men that come on stage say, "I will not sue."
Oh, yeah, because
Splash
what's the name?
Or Spice.
or Spice
If
for
I get
this
broke up.
performance if I get mashed up by Spice or any of Spice's
And-
dancers.
And I'm doing it for Pum Pum. That was hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm doing it for
Because
people.
Alison Hind had something like that where somebody tried to sue her at a
Wow.
concert. You know when they do that whole jump up in the air and land on you?
Yeah.
She did that to someone and broke his pelvic bone.
Wow.
It's not funny, man.
And he tried to, brother,
It's hilarious.
you got to get bust up and get carried off. Yeah. So that's why she did that.
Wow.
Yeah, so she turned around and made that very clear. However, the changes, the transitions, and she sung her new song about the
Goat.
goat.
Some next one about
Did you say go?
Goat. And the girls came out with goat masks and pulled the
So
goat
we're not even
masks.
talking about greatest of all time. We're talking the four-legged
I
animal.
mean,
no, it was greatest of all time.
Oh, okay.
but it's portrayed
Okay,
with these dancers coming out pulling goat
They had
masks
full
over
goat,
their face.
Goat heads. They had goat heads.
Goat heads, and then they were dancing, and you know they didn't move, which tells me they couldn't see because it was a full goat head,
It's a proper.
and you just couldn't see nothing.
Long face, long boat, goat head with horns.
Yeah.
Trust me, goat head.
And
So
she
like
had
the
horns.
horse head kind of.
yeah,
yeah.
but goat.
Goat, yeah.
Right.
So that was Spice. Who else was the main headliners?
Tarrus Riley came out
And badded it up.
and he has a very sweet voice. Do you know what I mean? So when he was singing, they muted him. The whole crowd was singing along. It was amazing. And he did a sound clash on the stage. It was brilliant. It
With
was
his,
really
with his
good.
sax guy. His
But I don't know
saxophonist.
who this saxophonist is.
It's just a
He's-
saxophone
No,
band
he's
member.
not. The saxophonist is a previously famous artist.
Okay.
They did like a vocal sound clash. It was
Yeah,
bad.
that was really good.
he-
really,
he-
really
it was
good.
right up your street,
Yeah,
brother.
I
Yeah.
saw him perform last year at Reguland.
It was
So that
bad.
was
Yeah, he's good.
good. However, now we come to the headline.
So the headliner was Popcaan. He was meant to have
Popcorn
an
was
hour and a
due
half
to come
set.
on at
8:30.
8:30. Popcorn arrived on stage at 9:25.
Made an appearance on stage.
Yeah, at 9:25. However, prior to his set, okay, this is where the shout goes out to Shawnee B. So prior to him was Shawnee B. Prior to Shawnee B was Spice. So Spice now was trying to fit her whole setting. Couldn't fit her whole setting and do the gospel tune which he sang and do the new music that she's bringing out and go through her whole Vibe Kartel repertoire and catalogue.
Yeah.
She couldn't do it all, but she was trying. She went and said, how much time has I got left? The stage manager was like, finish now. He was like, safe. 2 more tunes. Drop 2 more tunes, rags. Didn't even look back. Just performed them. Shout goes out to DJ Corey because he was on the decks. And what he did, which I thought was amazing, he turned around and said, I don't want the music to stop playing so the crowd have no vibe. Because when Spice's set ends, Shauna B's set was meant to start. However, Shauna B's set went live on the BBC.
Oh, was it?
So when what should have happened is Spice's set should have finished, Shawnee should have started, transition smooth for the crowd, and then straight live on BBC. He tried his best to make it happen. It was a slight delay, but it happened. Shawnee B was meant to make and I'm just gonna make this up, half an hour to 45-minute set.
45 minutes set. I'm
was
calling
45
times.
minutes?
Yes.
Right. Now, what he did, which I thought was quite genius, was he brought out Lani, shout goes out to Lani, and he played soca.
First.
So you're not expecting to hear soca on the main set in this type of event, but it's a Caribbean event, and you've just got Jamaican artists. So if you're not representing the rest of the Caribbean, it's going to get a bit skewed. Do you get what I mean? So he played soca and did really well. At what should have been the end of that set, they're looking over their shoulder. Popcaan, that's meant to be coming out, hasn't turned up. So once they finished playing soca, they've gone to old school dancehall.
I believe, yes.
And
I think
then
they were still within their time at this point, but
danced around the dancehall. And then they're looking at the time like, yo, we're meant to be finished, you know? And Popcorn hasn't come out.
And at this time, they don't know what to play because you've got an artist that's going to perform.
So the reason why I'm shouting out Shawnee B was he was like, I'm tired. I didn't expect to be out here. However, more tune, more rhythm, more tune, more rhythm. Keep the crowd hype, keep the crowd warm, keep the crowd
So
nice.
he kept them at that level.
yes.
He tried so hard. Did really well until it got near the end when he's like, where is Pop? You know, he's like, I've done enough now. Where is
He said this on the
Popcaan?
mic.
Yeah, like what's going on? Like he's like, even I don't know what's going on. So rhythm's playing, he's gone round the back. Trying to come back, talk to the crowd. The crowds are like, nah. If there were bottles in that,
People get flung. Yeah.
yeah, bro. If there were bottles available, they would have got flung because people started booing.
Is it?
Booing him or booing the fact that there was no
Everything,
artist?
booing everything.
Okay.
My foot,
It's raining. Boo.
yeah,
There's mud on the floor. Boo.
my foot bottom was hurting me. I'm standing in one spot for too long.
Yeah.
Do you know, we're trying to work out what's going on.
And the thing is, you don't want to leave because if you leave,
You're going to lose
Popcorn,
your
you know.
space.
and then he might just come on straight away.
And I was on my own.
Yeah.
So if I left my space and walked off,
Yeah.
if I tried to walk back into our space, you're like, yo, blood.
Okay.
You know, like that, it didn't make sense. And then, so they kept it up. And then Popcaan came out at 9:25.
25, as you said.
The event finishes at 10 o'clock. Tongo.
So he comes out, what song comes out to you. It's a vibe. He does well, but his mic don't sound the best.
What was that?
I don't know. His mic not sounding the best, but yeah,
It's
he's
like
doing
it
his
was
thing.
tuned to the,
Monitor.
just to the monitors, not to the
Main
PA
stage,
system.
yeah.
Yeah, so so it was a vibe. He was doing his thing. I wouldn't say he was rushing through because he was wheeling up tunes, innit?
So,
He pulling up tunes, bruv.
Tongo, am I allowed to talk?
Yeah, man, run through.
So
Pulling up tunes.
he had dancers come out to his tunes. He's singing his tunes, the dancers doing their routine. 17 and a half seconds into the routine, wheel up. The dancers are now like, what do we do? What do we do? We didn't rehearse a wheel up. I like to go.
Let's stand and start spinning.
So when the dancers had to deal with the wheel up, then he re-sang the same tune. They went back into the routine, but he's now not going to sing the whole tune because he wheeled it up. Do you get it? So in their head, they're like, rah, we practiced.
The whole tune. This is
But
what we're going to do.
To be honest, artists, I say that. But when I first saw Capleton ever back in the 90s, he was the only artist that sang every tune to the end. He sang parts of the song I'd never even heard before when I saw him live, but that made his performance boring. So from then, at that moment, I said, I don't want to see Capleton ever again. He's dead, can't perform. But then obviously, as he's grown and he's got more experience, and I'm watching videos of where he's performing in shows in Jamaica and shows in his, I'm like, right, this is Capleton, blood. So when he came last year, I had to go.
But you have to remember, back then, the older generation wanted to hear the whole tune.
No, man, because every other concert I went to,
Did
and I went to a lot of them,
or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
they are running through the rhythm, they'll pull it up, go to the next rhythm, they'll sing a medley, he was singing the song end to end.
The reason why
It
I
was
say
boring.
that is because, hear me out. Back then, you could buy singles. You could buy a cassette with
One tune, 7 mixes of the same tune. Shout goes out to Tony Braxton, you're making me high.
So you buy a cassette, old folks, and you play this thing. You're playing
Or
it.
single CD.
Yeah, you're playing it from start to finish. There's no instant back to the start. None of that wheel up thing. You gotta then rewind the tape or turn the tape around if you got a cheap thing, and then
And fast forward.
fast forward
Yeah,
it. And,
fair
so you
enough.
see what I'm saying? So back then, I'm expecting to hear the part of the song.
Nah, bro, you have to think about it like this. The artist that he is, how long he's been involved in the music industry, there are several that are still here with him. Bounty Killer, Beenie Man, Cobra, so on and so forth. They're still here at the same time, yeah? When they performed, as I said, they would
They would do the
perform.
short version and
They would do a performance.
Yeah.
It would be a stage show, much like Spice did a stage show. Like, his was literally, I've come here to sing my song then.
But anyway, let's get back
As
on
we were.
track with Popcorn.
So Popcorn now,
Came out 55 minutes late, saying, I'm the unruly boss.
unruly.
That's
My dog.
this is what he was dropping.
And
Unruly.
people are vexed already.
And
People are vexed because they've been standing outside for an
money.
hour and a half waiting for him to come out. Enough people left.
it's true.
wow.
But
Quick question.
you know what else he did, which killed me? He said it's unruly, then said to tell everyone to say, he said, everyone said, bomb on cars for no reason.
Yeah.
Everyone did it though, but it was hilarious.
Question: how much did you pay for your tickets?
Don't remember that. Don't remember that.
Okay.
Don't remember that.
What was the price difference between last year and this year's?
I don't remember how much it cost last year. I think it was about £10, £15.
It's gone up by.
I think it was.
Yeah.
You know, I think the problem is, I think when we got our, because last year we did the 4 people ticket, right? So we got it for I think £60 each, something like that, right? Depending how early, what release you
wanted
bought
to
your
get
ticket,
in, yeah,
depends
exactly, yeah.
on what price you paid. I don't think they've changed the prices per se. I think it was just.
They might have just changed the allocation.
I just think
to
that
those, yeah.
by the time we went to buy tickets, we was at the last release, which was like, by the time we did the booking fee, it was about £80. But the first release started at like £45.
Yeah, but you know that release
And I
thing
spoke
is a
to
bit of a
someone
scam, though.
today, and she's already got her city special ticket for next year.
Yeah,
next year.
they advertised it the very same day.
Is it?
£40.
So, which leads me on to, so clearly I'm taking it that this year's headliner, I'm going to just put a guess out there, doesn't match up with last year's headliner.
No, last year's was wicked.
So just to summarize, it's taking too long. So this year's headliner, Popcaan, came out. The performance was below par. He brought out an artist that I don't listen to dancehall like that.
I think I went toilet at this point. I didn't hear this.
So he brought out this artist. The artist was I don't know who the artist was. The artist just started singing. Both of the mics were shit. Oop, not great. And then the tunes that you wanted to hear, you didn't hear. He was halfway through singing. So remember, he came out late, doing his repertoire. Right, I'm gonna open and close brackets for that.
Catalogue.
Going through his catalogue. I said quotations instead of repertoire. But one of the things that what it was when he was now doing his crescendo, you know the crescendo where you start low and you're running into
To get everyone hype.
Yeah, everyone hype. City Splash looked at the time, 10:10. Cut the mic off. He was singing, no sound was coming through the speakers.
Yep.
So someone literally just flicked the
Turned
switch.
the
Turned
switch
off the mic
and said, yeah.
Put the volume down.
Do you think, given the recent, because it was in, I forget what park is it again?
Rockwell Park.
Rockwell Park. Given the recent thing that the council had about
So
they
the
just got
promoters
yeah,
couldn't give them any reason.
that's what I was about to
To
say.
lock off the license for next year.
Yes,
Okay.
right.
You see,
Say that again. Citrus.
Yeah, because so a couple
So-
weeks was it a couple weeks ago?
No.
Yeah.
Wait. Sorry. Let me hear what Citrus
Go
had
on.
to say.
So, in my opinion, Brockwell Park was already going through problems. City Splash and the other events. It's not just
so
City
it's not
Splash.
just City Splash.
There's something like 11 events.
No. So
Is it six?
basically, the quota
Six.
for events that they're allowed to have per year has been exceeded. So now, local communities, the local residents are complaining that your license is
Was
1 minute.
25 days
I
and it
think
went
there's-
to 36.
I think there's too many different points going on here because I think you're trying to say that this weekend had 6 events. Is that correct?
no.
That's not what you're saying. You like the whole year thing, yeah?
No, what I'm saying is because they nearly got shut down, what they didn't want to do is exceed or take the piss in any area that could cause them to be shut down next year.
They wanted to comply to everything to make sure that they
So-
follow the rules,
Follow the rules and you'll be okay.
because ultimately next year the council will have to reduce the amount of events that are happening throughout the course of the year in that park.
Yes.
They don't want to give the council a reason to say,
say you
were
guys
one of the poor
lock off."
performers,
Yeah.
so
Lock
it's an
off.
easy decision. We're going to let you go, and these are the reasons why. So a lot of, and it's not just City Splash. There's a lot of organizations, companies, management facilities that are doing these events that are now very much towing the line, and very, very before your license until 10 o'clock, people are still there at 11 o'clock. Now a lot of places are saying, listen, 10 o'clock, it's a business for us. We make money from this. We're not messing about with that. And a lot of the time also, the council actually put in officers on site to,
yeah,
Yeah.
they'll record.
yep,
So I'm going to jump to my final point on City Splash, which is talking about the headliners. Last year we were saying who we think would headline this year. Would be a big thing? Clearly, Popcaan didn't match what we would have thought should be a headliner. 2026 City Splash, who should headline it?
don't ask me, I'm going to say Sizzler.
You're saying Sizzler.
I'm saying
okay.
Sizzler.
If I had my choice of lineup, it would be out of Vybz, Buju, and Batman Killer.
Yep.
And the singer, because they seem to have a singing act as well, or a third act. The singing act, I would have Beres. And the sort of next level down act. Because, like, for example, this year's next level down act would have been Valiant. Last year's was apparently Busy Signal. But I think I would have Sham.
Okay. Citrus. Headline acts that would blow City Splash out of the water for 2026 would be.
Buju.
Okay.
If they said Buju's coming out, I am buying my ticket tomorrow.
But is Buju coming as Buju, Yard Buju, or is he coming as
Well, I
EU-regulated?
think all of the artists know there's certain things you can and can't do.
I mean, you have to. I didn't go last year, but I'm only going from what
And
you
wait,
all
wait,
said.
wait. Let me. My brain. Sorry,
Go
Wiley.
on.
I apologize. Marshall, Ecstatic, Square One.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where am I going with this?
Yeah.
Bring out all my
Crossfire.
soca people. Them.
Put it this way, Kassav could have been on stage there.
Oh.
Bring my soca people there. I don't care how many Jamaicans walk away. Bring my soca people there, because when the soca set was playing, I don't know about the rest. I was near the front. The front was bubbling, juggling, blessed. So that's for me.
That's for you.
You don't even need to go.
Stupid.
That
Last year when
Prince
Triple M was there, shout out to Triple M. His set was bad. He badded up the thing as well. Last year, the soca was proper.
So to kind of sum up with the City Splash, last year was better than this year.
The mud last year was mad.
I
So
enjoyed the mud.
There was no mud this year.
there was
Like,
there was no
I
mud
heard
this
they
year.
invested in matting.
They did.
the
There was
rain,
mats.
the rain was so minimal.
Yeah.
The mud didn't even get wet.
Wow.
Yeah. Long enough for City
Yeah.
Splash.
So I
Organised.
had a bit of a mad weekend. I went, as you can see, I'm wearing the red. I went to Liverpool.
Let's talk about City Splash.
Red, Arsenal. Okay, fair enough.
But I'm not going to label on the football. I'm going to just talk about the experience up there, which it was crazy. There was when they say there was 1.5 million people, there was literally, I believe there was 1.5
It's kind
million
of copy
people.
carnival, yeah? Say
Listen,
no
I
more.
genuinely believe there was that many people there, but clearly everyone's aware about the incident that took place up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
For those
was
of us who not,
yeah. For those that are not aware, there was an incident where a car driver ran over. He basically was in the crowd, plowed through. And this is what is confusing me. All the reports are talking about a collision. There was no collision. The man put his foot down and plowed through people in the crowd. And we thank God, touch wood, he never killed nobody. Because they're saying there was 79 or so people that have been injured, but he hit so many people randomly, just what he
mad.
did. But yeah, it was, and the thing is, where you're saying City Splash, it was rain and the rain didn't affect it. That parade, it was raining non-stop, and everybody was out there, players singing. But it was such an amazing vibe. I'm sure it probably matched the same vibe at City Splash. It was such an amazing vibe out there until that incident. And the maddest thing is, a lot of us, we was going to the train station to try and make our connections. We got to the train station. I think there must have been, and this is no exaggeration, there was probably about 250,000 people outside of the train station trying to get in. No exaggeration. I'm not even exaggerating the numbers. But because of what happened with the incident and the guy that had run over people, they believed at the time it was a terrorist attack.
Okay.
So in their mind's eye, they couldn't allow people to go in the station, but then there's no communication going to everyone outside to say why we're all being delayed. So the crowds got bigger and bigger and bigger. No one's moving until
so you're literally just herding people into.
literally.
So what sort of time was the incident?
This must have been about, I reckon it must have been about 6:37, something like that.
Oh, right.
It was in the evening. It was right at the very end of the parade because the team had come through where we were, and everybody was now starting to filter back to get to where they were going to. And I've got to send a shout out to all the people that was. I've got to say, for that many people outside the station, yeah, there was a lot of people not happy about it, but there was a lot of patience. They could have easily just tried to storm for the station. They didn't do that. There was a lot of understanding and patience, and we didn't know at that point what had happened. But yeah, man, I've got to say as well, hospitality up north is so different to London. London is great, but the minute you go outside the Watford Gap, it is such a different level of hospitality. People really welcome anybody coming up north. It was just great.
I don't know if I agree with that.
What's that saying?
I don't know if I agree with that.
What's your experience up north?
When I've been out of London, full stop, not even north, could be anywhere, I don't feel like the hospitality is always that top notch.
When you say
get a few shining stars, but generically they're just as rude, if not more
In the
rude
public
than
sector,
in London.
like what he's
no,
referring to.
I'm just talking about. I'm not even talking about in the
people.
working sector. I'm talking about the people in general were just really friendly.
No,
Everybody in my encounter going up to when I come back down again to people that was traveling up there. Everyone's experience, maybe because there was
You had the unified. You had the unified.
Maybe that's what it was.
maybe, but
yeah, it was very, very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. So shout out to all those that went. But yeah, very, very enjoyable. But moving on swiftly, we talked about City Splash. We talked about that. I'm going to jump onto something that is a bit more serious, I guess. Have you lot all seen the thing about the alleged genocide of the white South Africans that are now fleeing the genocide to go to get asylum in America?
personally, can't say I have.
Yeah, it's
Okay, so I've seen it. My back is straight. I don't know if I really want to say what I want to say because I'm a little bit broken in it,
Say it, brother.
and it's gonna,
Talk the truth.
be honest, piss off a lot of people. I can't understand how genocide and 7%, 7% of the population, yeah, are of Caucasian descendants or the UK or wherever they came from to South Africa, and they own 70% of the wealth of the country. Now, just put those figures into perspective. 7%, single digit, 70%. I don't know how you can then turn around and put them in any form of disadvantage, no matter what it is.
Well, what's been interesting, and for those of you that may not know, I think it was last week, President Trump had a meeting with the South African president, and he was talking about how the white farmers over there had been getting killed by black South Africans. According to what President Trump was saying, he was talking about, he brought up all these videos showing about X amount of crosses, which crosses in the ground.
Yeah,
Which
I saw that.
turned out to be, it wasn't because of this. These crosses weren't in the ground for white farmers. They were for anybody who'd been killed in the farm. And this included the black Africans as well.
Yes.
So it was really strange watching someone in that position
Trying to change the narrative.
trying to change the narrative of what was going on.
that's
And
right.
I find it a bit distasteful because it's adding the word, and he was pushing genocide. And I felt for the South African president because he's like saying that, tell me where this is because I don't recognize this. Where is this? When the truth of the matter is coming out now, and people are looking at it, even one of the farmers, the white farmer's sons, who lives in Australia now, he was saying, no, the videos that they're putting out there isn't depicting what they're saying. But this is the president of a country saying this is what's
One of the
going on.
most powerful countries in the world,
But-
and most influential.
Scary.
Listen, my mantra, expect people to be who they are. We've known and we've experienced Donald's shoot from the hip, ask questions later. And yes, he's very, very bullish when it comes to making statements, making flamboyant remarks and whatnot, and getting people in that position where, you know, he wants a reaction. And that's what he's done. He's done it to get a reaction out of everybody. The facts, figures, and full stops are not important to him. And this is why he's doing this. And in a way, with my ever so slightly broken self, I'm happy he's done this. And the reason why I'm happy he's done this is because it's now brought that attention to this topic.
Yeah.
And for those who have got the time to actually research and look into it, they're now getting to see the real truth because, you know, yeah, he's done that. And there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, you know what? The Africans, South Africans are doing this and they're killing our people and whatnot. But for those who are actually going to take the time to look into it and get a bit more information, they will find out and see the truth and see that actually there's all of this that's happening. There are still parts of South Africa that black natives and black people cannot buy property. It is reserved strictly for the white people in that community. So there's a lot that will now come out and be exposed. And I'm glad, even though it was a bit of an ambush, I'm glad that the Prime Minister of South Africa
president, yeah.
went all the way to America to have a conversation and say, well, let me defend myself. Let's have this conversation.
Yeah, it was a terrible ambush because he went there. I believe he went there to talk about trade, and then he was like they dimmed the lights, put it on. It was like being in a movie theater. It was crazy.
It was a setup. It was a
Crazy.
setup.
It was
He
really bad
started
setup.
presenting him with all these pictures and all these things. But as you say, none of them were actually about what was going on. It was just stuff that, it's almost like someone's like, oi, you use this, hit this, hit. It was crazy. It was, yeah. But expect people to be who they are, and that's his mantra.
Speaking of the Donald,
The Donald.
yes, the Donald.
The Donald. Oh, my Lord.
So when he did his tariffs, you're all aware about the tariffs that was going on in America, yeah?
Yeah.
When he was doing it, there was such a big uproar about the madness of it all. But it seems that his economy, the American economy, is doing great guns now because of it. Did he know what he was doing all along?
Probably.
Well, you see, this is the $1 million
That's a
question.
very good question.
Because people was having so much about him raising the tariffs and the negative effect it would have on their economy. But I think people also forget, because, and I'm not a big fan of his, but I do know He's been in business for many, many years. That is probably his one area of expertise, I would say. He has an idea of what he's doing. I never actually thought that his tariff idea would work, but apparently their inflation is at a 4-year low.
But you have to remember, that's just inflation. What about the rest of the stuff? I mean, he's got buildings being built, he's got infrastructure coming into place, which I granted, that is what he was saying, bring the jobs home. So yeah, but however, this infrastructure that he wants to put in place can't be done overnight. There's no skills to deal with it right now. There's no training. You're basically going to build this amazing factory and whatnot, and you're going to have to outsource people to come in to teach locals how to do this. But also you need to think of it on a little bit of a different scale. He's done the tariffs and whatnot, and the rest of the world have retaliated. China did this. Let's open this unsealed box that we had closed, that we were allowing, we weren't doing fakes of these. We were allowing companies to keep their kind of, their quality, and not just their quality, but their exclusivity. Now that box is open. You can go there and buy whatever you want directly from the factory, this and the other. So as much as, yes, the tariffs may not even go through now because the courts are now saying, yeah, we have to cancel all these tariffs because they weren't done legally anyway.
Wow.
But it's now got to a point where China has now released the cat's out of the bag, and there's no reason for them to put it back in. They're like, this is working great for us. You lot, we're not going to take your Tesla. We've got BYD, we've got all these other Chinese companies making cars and batteries and whatnot. We'll carry on doing it. It's fine. I mean, China, and let's not jump too far in the conspiracy thing, are supposedly on the dark side of the moon, mining for this mineral that can, do all this kind of stuff and whatnot. And it's crazy that America thought that they could actually do something like this, but yet still get them to stay almost in their lane and control them. It's crazy.
Like a bully China, mad thing.
Yeah,
Mad thing.
It's almost like bullying your chef, your cleaner, I don't know, the maid, bullying everybody, and then think, when they go on strike, I can do it myself.
Yep.
You can't.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Mad thing.
It's been mad. It's been a mad couple of days, man. Mad couple of days. So where to go to next? I'll tell you what I did find that has been on a bit of a fun note. Nigeria won the Jollof Cup final.
Yeah, you call it the Jollof Cup final.
It wasn't a cup final.
We beat Ghana in the Unity Cup, and the next game we have is against Jamaica, who beat Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah,
you know they're gonna lose, right?
Who's gonna lose?
Nigeria's gonna lose. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'll be honest with you. The squad that I've seen they put out there, and I think this is all the countries, in my personal opinion, none of them have put their star players out there. None. So I take this tournament with a pinch of salt. It's basically all about bragging rights. So I expect Nigeria should win, but I can't say they will win. But I
Is this
expect
the
they
same
should
game
win.
that JJ Kocher was doing his madness?
What do you mean?
So I saw a video of JJ Kocher. And Samuel Eto'o just said, "Listen, take him off, take him off."
No. That was the I know what you're talking about. That was a what's it called? It was a friendly or something years ago. No, this is the tournament taking place in Brentford this week where Trinidad and Tobago played Jamaica. Jamaica won 3-2.
Good match.
Yeah, very good match.
Penalty,
Nigeria
right?
played. Was that?
Penalties.
No. It was a they won 3-2 in 90 minutes. Nigeria played Ghana. They beat Ghana 2-1. So the winners of those two games play each other on Saturday, and the losers of those two games play a third place playoff. So Ghana play Trinidad on Saturday, and Nigeria play Jamaica on Saturday, all at the Brentford Stadium. But yeah, Nigeria won the Jollof Cup final.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm quite excited about it. It's the first time, and I wanted to go, I must admit, and I kind of fell by the wayside and didn't go. And I only wanted to go just to support it, because if we don't support it, things like this won't happen.
Yes.
You see, like, there's a lot of people there, though.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
See, like,
It was almost sold out.
You feel like it's. I was gonna say that. See, like the
Quite a
stand
lot
was
of people
sold out.
went. Quite a lot of people that we know went. And I think Rain actually went to the
Jamaica one.
Yeah, the Jamaica one.
Oh, okay.
You ain't gonna go to any other one. Let's be real.
He's probably still there.
Oh dear.
Waiting for Saturday.
Yeah. He's got his flag and his 4 rows. He don't know when to sit next to him.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't make the Saturday game, but I'm looking forward to it.
I wanted to go to it, but yeah, I can't make it either.
Who wins the final?
Jamaica.
No, Nigeria.
I'm Jamaican. I'm going to say Jamaica.
I'm going to say Nigeria.
Underdogs.
And we will come back to this point on the next podcast.
Listen, if Jamaica win, don't come back, you know.
If Jamaica win, I will come back with my flag.
No, don't.
Blatantly.
Don't come back. That week, we'll have a full Caribbean empty podcast. No Jamaican.
Can't invite no Nigerians to that one.
No,
Hold on.
you can't come.
And if Nigeria win?
Then we can't invite no Jamaicans.
Okay.
I'm down for the course.
You have to bear in mind, the next podcast we're going to have, which will be on the 12th of June, we're going to have DJ Longers here. And DJ Longers, I'm not sure, I have to get confirmed, is of Jamaican descendancy, if I'm correct.
I think
If I'm correct. So you're effectively saying DJ Longers cannot attend the podcast today.
That's him.
But make sure you tune in. Make sure you're following the podcast on the Empty Podcast on YouTube and on Instagram and on TikTok. So much conversations going on there. But the next one we will be having DJ Longers coming fresh from Mexico. I beg your pardon. Cancun. He's coming from.
Oh, Cancun Jump Off. Shout them out.
So he'll be letting us know how that was.
2013, a Ladino.
Okay. Swiftly moving on.
So I'm going to open the floor to anyone who wants to talk about any other mad events that have taken place in the last 2 weeks. I'll tell you one thing we did touch on the last, I'll very quickly touch on it. Chris Brown. We talked about the Chris Brown concerts and how he'd been
Got locked up.
He's now free on bail.
5 million.
£5 million he had to pay in order to be able to be freed. And he's got some concerts. I believe some of them are in Paris.
They've taken his passport, though, haven't they?
So how is he going to perform those ones in Paris? Does he now not do those? Do people lose out on money?
Chris Brown, he don't need his passport. You know it's him.
Eurostar.
But yeah, it's mad. 5 million. Honestly.
And he put down MX, man.
But you know, I don't understand. This is what I don't get, yeah? This incident allegedly happened in 2023. How can he have gone away for that length of time, come back now?
Because they may not have an agreement to extradite.
No, but I'm not even saying that.
He was there last year.
I'm saying if you know there's a case going on, how have your people
allowed you
not
to
resolved that issue before you got back? Your people should know when you touch down in England next, you're going to get arrested.
Money talks.
So how does that?
Money talks. If you tell somebody, yeah, we've got a little bit of an outstanding issue we need to sort out. However, if you go and perform in this place, each of us are going to walk away. You're going to walk away with 10 million. I'm going to get 5 mil. This person's going to get 5 mil. Let's take the chance.
Well, that's mad.
Because he's still going to perform in England. So they're still going to get paid.
But he's his freedom and liberty is at risk, innit? Because if he does get a sentence for it, I can't see it being a suspended sentence.
If you can afford to pay 5 mil on bail, you can afford to pay the right lawyers to get you off.
Fair point.
5 mil in bail.
5 mil, man.
I was talking
We're
pounds.
going to settle the case. I'm sure whoever it is will be happy with a payout.
But remember, it's a criminal case now, so it's gone beyond them giving. They got CCTV, they got all sorts allegedly. So
Okay.
we shall see.
Somebody getting paid. Well, a whole heap of people getting paid. Talking about paid.
Yes.
They're talking about raising congestion charge to
£18.
£18.
They're mocking.
One sec. Have you paid for Blackwell Tunnel or the
Silvertown.
Silverlink?
I have technically, and the reason why I say that is because I've got an account where they
Have you paid yes or no?
Yes, man.
All right. Tongo.
No, I haven't.
Wiley.
Nope.
I have 7 times.
7 times.
But don't they take it at the end of
All
the
right.
month?
It doesn't matter.
I'm going to talk to you about that offline, Citrus.
Yeah, my bill came in 100 and
I got something for you, but maybe.
But why 7 times?
Because
Then
if I'm doing a move for a customer and they have to do 2 runs, 2 runs is a minimum of 3 entries through the tunnel. Do you get what I mean?
Yep. So hold on. So you've got to effectively pay each time. It's
Every
not
time
a
you go
thing
through.
of you pay.
You don't pay once and
not
just
a
go
return
through,
thing.
through a bag of times.
It's not returning like your
My
trains.
man thinks it's an Oyster card. You swipe Blackwell
yeah.
Tunnel
Well, here's the thing.
and just.
Well, here's the thing. Because
Return fair.
they've got certain bus routes that they've got that are going through for free.
for
Innit?
free,
You don't, and I believe also the
the
DLR
bikes.
between certain stations is free travel.
Yeah, it is free for, I think,
So-
for a year or something like that
Yeah,
between the tunnels.
so
but let's be honest. Now, if somebody's performing at the O2, I have to sit down and calculate this thing properly.
Yeah.
'Cause
What
I'm like-
time are they performing? Because I got to get through before or after
Plus parking,
the hype.
plus the ticket. So to
Yeah.
see somebody perform now is 150, 200 pounds.
Would you not just park north and then get
No,
yourself?
no. You just get on the train. Go and speak to Wiley and say my card
Well,
don't
the
work.
thing is, it's free travel. Remember, it's free travel between those stations, isn't it?
You've experienced trying to leave Liverpool with 250,000 people
Yeah.
all trying to get on the same train. Was it a great experience?
It was an interesting experience, but then we were all supporting the same team.
Same, but you got BO from someone you don't even know rubbing on your clothes. That is the thing.
Red BO.
That's the thing.
And the thing is, it was raining. So it's BO mixed with rain.
Mixed
and then
with
just
flare.
wet.
That dog smell.
Yeah.
I'm not. Okay.
No.
So when you put it like that, and you go to see a concert and someone's been dancing all night, and then you're now talking about getting on the train.
Gents, sorry to take it off topic. I'm hungry. When you go home, right, and you ain't got enough money, so you go home and you've got to spend £10 and feed yourself for today and tomorrow. What are you making?
Pasta.
Pasta.
Pasta
Probably
and tuna
mackerel,
bake.
sweet corn.
Yep.
Wait,
I'll
you said
find a way to
tuna
make it
bake,
work.
he said mackerel.
Yeah. I don't like tuna, mackerel.
£10 blood.
Tongo,
Yeah,
£10.
yeah, £10 ain't getting you. Yeah, your tin tuna,
Yeah.
pasta, sweet corn,
Yeah.
pack of cheese. We're good.
Yeah.
Tongo.
Packet of wings, £2. Packet of mince, about another £2. Pasta.
Pure protein.
Are you buying GM? Are you doing the GM thing, bro?
Nah, bro.
Just help me out.
I shop in Lidl and Aldi and them.
Okay.
Okay.
But to be honest,
pack of
wings,
wings.
Low grade, low grade.
wings are even £2 in Asda.
What kind of wings, blood? No, I'm
Dog
asking you.
wings, bro.
Pigeon wing.
No, I'm saying, are you saying barbecue wings that are
No,
cooked
I
already?
mean raw.
Uncooked and you got to cook and clean
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, raw wings. Pasta, some kind of little salad bag, season it up, make a food.
£10.
Yeah, I probably have change.
You can and change.
They probably change, yeah.
My guy. This one's my
You
guy.
can make you can make that £10 stretch to
Nah,
do
nah.
to do. I wouldn't say 2
You're
whole
not making.
days.
You're not making dumplings.
Dumplings. We don't eat dumplings, no.
You ain't
What do you
making no
make?
jollof rice. with
We
£10, blood.
don't.
Puff puff. I wouldn't have puff puff as a meal. That's like a savoury. I wouldn't have that as a meal.
It's puff puff.
That's like donuts. I wouldn't have that as a
So you said we don't eat
Yeah.
dumplings.
yeah.
In my house,
We don't make dumplings. No.
As soon as this
I am king.
podcast goes
Jamaicans
offline,
always talk about Jamaicans always talk about dumpling and butter. I've never actually had it, but apparently it's meant to be the bomb thing.
I don't know. I'm just trying to work out. I'm hungry. I've got £10. I've got to eat for 3 days.
3 days now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's funny as you say that? I used to do this thing with my partner, I don't know, way back when, where we used to go into Tesco or supermarket or any supermarket and we say, we've got £20 and we've got to make dinner for tonight. We're not allowed to use anything apart from the seasoning we have at home. You choose one item, I choose one item. We are not allowed to converse, to agree and make a plan.
Wow.
You both buy
Yes.
And it was the best thing ever. You get home,
Both
and
got
you
meat.
got 2 bags. You're like, okay, you go first. We go for
Gotta work it out.
dumpling. I'll come out with basics and I'm like, okay, let's work brain. I got couscous. And she'll be like, I raise you. I got avocado. Like, no, avocado and couscous. All right, okay. Some Mediterranean thing. Okay, let's go. Keep going. I'll come out with a little thing of like salad with whatnot. Bring that out. Okay, I got a salad. She'll come out with something like 2 tomatoes.
Wow.
Brother, if you've never tried it, do it.
I mean,
It's amazing. And what you end up eating at the end of the night is just, yeah.
so what's crazy is if you then said, I'm just going to order in food
Oh,
from a
£10 one
takeaway.
person.
No, that money ain't lasting.
That's
that money
fine.
ain't lasting at all. No way.
Delivery's going to take £5.50 out of it.
Right?
You're left with £4.50.
Even if you go to a McDonald's, I mean, McDonald's meals are now like about what, £8-9?
I don't eat McDonald's.
Don't eat that.
Bun that.
Don't eat that.
Yeah. So,
Why for that?
But
yeah.
yeah, now is
It's
It's
not
like
getting you
12
anything.
pence.
Nah, £10
not
now,
anything.
realistically, is like £2.50.
It's like 12 pence.
Value wise.
Yeah.
Did you say £10 is now
Like
£9?
£2.50.
Now 2004's £2.50.
2005.
I would say no.
2005
I'd say
£2.50.
£10 is more like 2008 or 9's £5, because where you used to get a meal,
You're killing me.
where you
bro.
used to get a meal.
Wait 1 second. Do you
Go
remember
on.
McDonald's was 288?
This
Right,
is what I'm
right.
saying. When you're talking about
when was it 288?
1980s and
When
90s.
It
was
was
it?
80s.
No, in the late
80s
late
and
90s,
90s.
yes. In the 2000s, no.
It was 80s and
In the
90s.
2000s, them meals
Wasn't
have
it
been
288 for like 20 years? Or am I just bugging up?
up to
80s and 90s.
Yeah, not beyond the
I mean,
2000s.
1981, it went 288.
You know what?
Definitely
Let me
was.
done the dance for you. How much is a train ticket from zone 2 to zone 1 return?
Return,
I'm out.
Return is
I'm out.
about
Oh shit, we got expert.
return is about £9.
That is
Travel
right.
card,
wait,
travel
wait,
card,
wait,
travel
wait,
card,
wait. I-
travel
wait,
card.
wait.
One second,
Wait, what?
one second,
Wait, what?
one
Done.
second. A
Thank
travel
you.
card, a
Wait,
1-day
no,
travel
go
card.
back, go back to the question.
A return
Return
ticket
ticket
is about £9
on a tube.
Yes, but
From where?
zone 1 to
Is
zone
that
2.
when you tap
Tapping in properly.
Okay, let me just
However-
low.
No, hold on. Is that when
low.
you tapping in
No, no,
properly?
no, no,
Low.
no, no.
Low.
Let's
One
show
second.
speed.
So
Thank you.
I live in Hoxton,
Yep,
Zone 2.
zone 2.
yep.
Shoreditch, which is one stop away, is in zone 1.
Let me correct you. Hoxton is zone 1 and 2 border.
Okay.
They've
I can walk to Haggerson
Yeah.
Station.
Yes.
It's fine. I might get it wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm now in zone 2, official,
Yeah,
Haggerson.
yep.
I then want to go to
2 stops to
Shadwell.
Shoreditch. Oh yeah, Shadwell even better.
Right. To go into Shadwell, I have to pass through
Zone 1.
zone 1. To go to Shadwell, pick something up and come back, you're telling me it's £9
For a return ticket, not on the Oyster. And this is where they've been smart with stuff. So on the Oyster, it's £2.90 one way.
I don't have an Oyster. I
Here's
just
the
tap
thing.
my
So
bank card.
if you're same thing, £2.90. But if you're buying a paper ticket, as you mentioned, what they did was they increased the price of the paper tickets to go higher to force you to have to use an Oyster or a bank card. So as the ticket price you were saying, and you have to look at it.
Why are you
like-
making Sirelli film
Can I
smart?
ask one more question?
and the thing, 1 second, you have to look at it as his comparator wasn't Oyster, it was the paper ticket, which is fair
Because
enough.
we
because
didn't
the
have
paper
Oyster
ticket-
back then.
Paper ticket was the equivalent.
Can I ask a question?
Go on.
So, how much is that journey if I forget to tap out? How much do you charge me?
It's charging you about. It's relative. It's charging you about £7 or £8.
so it's
what
cheaper to not tap out.
because what
than
it
to
will
buy the
do-
return ticket. That's
No,
mad.
no. You don't tap out one side is £7. You don't tap out another side is £7. What you got to remember is they're charging you effectively from zone 1 to 6 because they don't know where you finished. So they're going to charge you for the
Do you know
whole
what?
zone.
It sounds like, you know when you walk up to the guy in the ticket office, every guy is Wiley.
But here's
It's a cult,
Go on.
innit?
but here-
Ticket workers are in a cult.
here's the funny thing though, yeah. Here's the funny thing. So obviously now we're in a time where everyone is just pushing through barriers and doing all sorts. They've been cracking down on that now.
Yeah, I see the
So,
one program where they catch a
Listen,
man
they'll-
on a
yeah,
train.
On a train, £3,000.
Yeah, they did a
wait.
thing.
Because
One
what,
second.
because what people are doing,
3,000.
£3,000. Because what people are doing,
You know Wiley and his man them, when they go for the pay rises, they mean we are going to get our money.
we don't get that
Sorry,
money.
I have to say this.
So, what they're
They
doing
made
now
a,
is
one
saying-
second, Tongo. They did a TV program
Yes, this is what I'm talking about.
about
Was Wiley on
catching one person.
This is what I'm talking about.
The TV program must have cost them 30 grand to put on. They've got man with hat on and blurry face getting on the train at the stop where he got on, man following him, man at the station where he gets off, man at the station before he gets off where he buys he gets off and I don't know what he does, buys a ticket just before the ticket where he's supposed to get off. There was man in the station in King's Cross, was it?
This, I'll give you.
Wiley was
So they
part
spent
instinct team.
35 grand to try and catch somebody that possibly they will find for £3 because remember, it still has to go to court.
Well, remember, the TV program is nothing to do with them. What you got to bear in mind, I'll give you an example. Where I work, and I don't want to hot up where I work, but where I work, there was a situation where there was a prolific woman who kept on buying a ticket, avoiding zone 1. And we advised her, you know what, listen, if you get caught, you know, you're going to get in a problem because we know you're going to a certain station. She was going far. And she had a bit of an attitude. Okay, cool. What they now did they set her up in it. So they saw when she bought the ticket at our station. She got to it before she even got to the destination. Once she had passed through, like you said, the zone 1, once she had passed through, they approached her on the platform where she was changing trains. Oh, excuse me, can I just see your ticket? And the thing about it, she had a backlog of tickets about that far. And what they did was they charged her for each individual ticket. She had an £8,000 fine to pay. And the thing is, the job she was having was such a high profile job. She had to pay it because if she'd have been exposing what she was doing.
Yeah. And that is the thing in it. Social media.
And this is why Wiley can wear bright red shirts on every podcast.
and matching shoes.
Honestly. But yeah.
So let me get this right, just to simplify.
£10 a game.
I don't even want to expose my thing because there's certain things that I can do that just help me on my rhythm. And I don't want to turn around and talk about it and then all of a sudden TFL, you know when I tap my thing just and just goes red and you can't go through the thing. And then you got the Wiley sitting there like...
Well, I tried to show you, mate. I tried to tell you.
I'll push through like a GE.
But here's the thing.
No, I don't like that. Because
I don't like doing that.
You do that.
I don't like doing that. There's other people that do that.
No, when I see it looks mad.
Listen.
Like sometimes there's, you know, and our people them. I'm not even going to chat.
It's no.
No, sometimes
it is not everybody.
I know you have first-hand experience because you're probably doing it. I see my people them just will look for the innocent victim who fumbles at the disability pram.
The wide gate.
Wide gate.
It's violation though, isn't it?
And then as soon as that person taps, they will just push up and
it's violation.
Just push up against them, and then they might get caught on the backlash.
But by then you're through.
But they're through.
I'll tell you what's basically happened. It's all happened from COVID. When COVID happened, people that was chancing themselves became more prevalent. People that was paying for their fare and going to work became, well, you know what? Why am I paying for my fare? And started to now people go to work and do this now. I see people that have got all their company logo and all sorts. They're not even, you know, before it used to be like a little sly thing. It's blatant now. And then what you're now seeing, because you're seeing that rising, you're seeing violent crime also rising. So it's all linked. It's all interlinked. There was a situation where somebody did that in one of the stations. Police was on the platform. He didn't know. When he saw the police, he tried to come back up. They grabbed him. They held him. When he was like holding him down, did he not have a machete as long as my laptop? So this is what I'm saying. People are now becoming so brazen with it. It's just, it's crazy, mate.
Can you imagine you're trying to walk through the thing and then some man just come up behind you and push up right on you?
Yeah. Yes, it's a madness.
It's a madness.
But I believe they pick their victims accordingly, which ain't okay. But the other side of that,
you with your missus, you're walking through, you go through one, she goes through one, and then some dude runs up
against
behind her.
I will instantly become Wiley.
Someone tried to. I came out of Tottenham Court Road once, and someone tried to come behind me. I pushed him right back because I pushed him right back through, and I said, "What are you doing? He's trying to pickpocket me." I knew what he was doing, but you're coming right behind me. What are you doing? So as far as I'm concerned, you're trying to pickpocket me or something.
Invaded your personal space.
You can't do that with people because you don't know what someone's mood could be.
So I have to ask Wiley permission if I'm going to try and slide through the thing.
Not behind me, mate. Not behind me.
Maybe they knew
Wiley Wild Man
looking at scrubs.
Was that
Wiley Wild Man?
Listen.
They knew you liked music.
Yeah, exactly. But not that type of music. No way.
And then with a little quick scrub, a little wine with a Wiley.
But speaking of music, don't forget on the 12th of June, we'll be having DJ Longers here. He will be our guest for the MT podcast. We're going to be getting close to wrapping up.
We got one more topic.
Go on.
Andrew Tate brothers.
Wow.
Rape charge.
Wow.
Tate brothers.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Wait, and we got more. You know, Donald got hail back on his tariffs. He was there throwing out tariffs, turning around and saying to people them, listen, import your thing, 25%, 15%, 10%, 30%, 80%.
1 million
This
percent.
is the charge. Now, there's I don't know what it's called. I apologize. I do apologize. There's a body in the US that said
Supreme Court.
you're trying to
Yeah, Supreme Courts.
you're trying to hark up arting on your flex. Furthermore, not only can you not do that, we are apologizing to the countries that have been faltered by your statements.
But it's too late. Too little, too late.
Yeah.
No. It's not. I'll tell you why it's not. Because when it was announced, the stock market today in the UK surged. And that's just a reflection of what's happening around the globe. Because the US cannot impose the taxes and tariffs they tried to impose because they felt that there should have been higher taxes levied on certain goods.
So we kind of spoke about this, but we'll go back to it. One of the things that you have to realize is, yes, they've brought those things back and they've pulled them back and whatnot. However, the impact that having those tariffs or countries perceiving that they were going to have that tariff has reacted on, they can't change that back. So China now saying we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. The US can't do anything to change that. So even if they take back the tariffs, China's still going to go on with what they're going on with now. So that has happened. The cat's out of the bag.
So simple as if this scarf was going to cost you £5, it's now going to cost you £8. You turn your charge back, they're saying it's still £8.
All these companies that were like, we are honoring this, we're doing that. China's they've opened the gates. They've said, come in. They own TikTok.
Do you know what killed
So
me?
they've now advertised
China then
everything.
turned around and said, what, you like Louis Vuitton? Here's Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? They turned around and just said, we're going to expose all of your things.
And they're not going to take it back.
Yeah.
They've boycotted Tesla now. They've got their BYDs. and whatnot.
BYD,
Yeah. So it's gone.
Nah, take it back, brother.
To jump onto what Tongo was saying about the Tate brothers and the charges that they're all charged with, not suffering, but they're all charged with. Very quickly, do you not think this is a conspiracy against them?
At first I did, but I don't think it is anymore.
Why not?
Because throughout the course of time, there's been things that they've been, obviously they've always been the thorn in the side of a lot of organizations. A lot of what they say has a foundation of truth to it, where they start off with the truth, but then they start to spew and deviate and start to kind of muddy the water. But they have got a place, and I genuinely believe this, they have got a place in the world, in social media, to say certain things that certain people need to hear.
Do you think what they say is of such a level, because there's been a lot of angst against them, innit? Do you think that it's been such a thing that the people are now trying to set them up? Or do you think that these charges could really be a true case?
I think the cases will have some truth to it. Whether the British lawyer system will be able to get the job done, as it were, where the Romanians haven't, I don't know. It's yet to see. However, but what I was reading, it says that until the Romanian case is completely finished, the UK one can't start.
So is that the Romanian cases are still ongoing now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So until
Well,
they're
it
finished,
won't end for a minute.
until they're finished, the UK one can't start. Then they've got to make sure that they've been extradited to here. And then they've been charged for, I think, human trafficking,
Wow.
ABH. Yeah. ABH? I think it was.
GBH.
Was it GBH? GBH. And
Allegedly.
trafficking and something else. And then there's,
I think there's also some modern day slavery kind of thing.
there's
as well.
21 charges. Andrew's got 10. And I can never remember his brother's name. Has got 11.
Wow.
But it's mad. Andrew's 10 are apparently for 3 people, 3 victims.
Tristan Tate. Andrew and
Tristan,
Tristan
that's
Tate, yeah.
Were for 3, apparently for 3 victims, whereas Tristan's is for 1 person, which is mad, isn't it?
Crazy.
There's
Crazy.
obviously one particular event that's happened which was that
But
crucial moment.
if I remember correctly, there's times where Tate used to boast about that's how he did what he did and how he made his money. They used to get girls, get them to do videos and live videos and be on phone lines and all this stuff. And that's how you used to make money. Just do have them there for hours and days on end, just answering the phone, talking to guys, getting money sent to them.
Well, I suppose the good thing is that because so many different countries are involved in this now, the truth will come out in the end.
Yeah, it has to. But what's interesting, if you look at
But is there enough actual evidence that proves anything?
Well, we'll find out.
That's the
because
thing, I think.
If people settle, then that'll be the end of that. But if people actually genuinely want the truth to come out, then they will do.
And these cases are all seeming to be flying around the same time. I mean, you got this case going on, you got the Diddy case going on.
There's an update on Diddy as well, you know?
What's the update?
Something about someone done the statement or took the stand or whatever. They said they admitted something happened and that I think a bodyguard was there or they've got evidence
Yes,
or
I
something
think I know what
like
you're
that.
talking about.
But then apparently now there's loads of other celebrities trying to get themselves where they are exempt from taking the stand for the case. Madness.
You know what? I remember, was it 2024 where Cat Williams said that it was the year of the truth.
Yeah.
It's looking like it is the year.
I thought it was
Everything's
beginning
coming
of
up.
this year. He said it January. He said it
No, he said it January 24.
a whole year ago.
Yeah, his interview was a year ago.
The shading.
His interview with
not,
Shannon
bruv.
Sharp was a year ago.
No, I didn't
It
check
was
that,
a year
bruv.
ago. It was a year ago.
didn't check that,
Because
bruv.
remember, when that interview happened, it all happened around the same time as, well, it happened before the whole Drake and Kendrick thing happened. So, yeah.
That's
Mad times, man.
As long as
Mad
that,
times.
nah. Time's
Mad
going too
times.
fast. Talking of time, can you believe it's June in a hot minute?
It's been a whole, the year
It's June
has just
in
flown.
a minute.
It
We
has
got
just
into the
flown.
second half of the year already.
Indeed, it's just flown. It's flown. And what's been strange about how the year has flown by is all the various different things that have happened in it.
Yeah.
The various different things that have happened in it. So
It'll be good to discuss as the year goes on, and
yeah,
there'll be some
The
very
end of the
interesting
year,
podcasts.
the end of year roundup
end
will
of the
be a
year
mad
roundup
thing.
is gonna be a
Gonna be
mad
eventful.
thing.
Rain, get onto that now, yeah.
Closing statements from anybody. Anybody got anything closing they want to try and bring up?
Tap your oyster.
Yeah.
Make sure you
Wileycat
tap
has
your oyster.
explained to you how this thing works, but nah, everyone look after yourself. Get out there. London, the UK has a lot going on in the summer. If you're not fortunate enough to travel, there is a lot going on in London. Make sure, make sure, whatever eclectic taste you have or whatever little nuances you're into, there is something out there for you. And this year, I think it's the year for the solo thing. I've been to a few events on the solo. Citrus is now on this solo thing as well. So yeah, if you like
But
it,
if you and Citrus on a solo together, it's not solo anymore.
on his thing. Anyway, get out there. There's loads to see and do. All the parks, festivals, food events, whatever you're into, get onto it.
I second that. Life is for living, man. Just live it, man. Honestly, I've already heard of people passing that I wouldn't expect it to be gone by now.
Yeah.
This year alone already. So, being that this year is moving rapid, I would say, just remember, life's for living. If you want to do something, find a way to get it done. Even if it's yourself, and try and focus on self-preservation and self-peace, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Self-preservation and self-peace. I think I definitely agree with that. I think that this is the time now of trying to make sure you know what it is? I'm not even going to say self-preservation, self-peace. I'm going to say enjoyment.
Enjoyment?
Yes, mate. Enjoyment. Make sure that you enjoy what you're doing and make sure you have fun with it, because we spend so much time working and doing what we're doing. We don't enjoy ourselves. And then by the time we look back, we're all old and grey and we're looking back thinking we should have taken our time then.
Work-life balance.
Speak for
That's
yourself.
what you're trying to get
Life
at.
is for living. Work is for
life-
working and
work-life
balance it
balance.
with having fun.
Work-life
But
balance.
yes, this has been the Empty Podcast. If the glass ain't half full,
It's
empty.
empty.
Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah.